Hey guys, this is Jason. I'm reviewing Mercy, directed by Timur Bekmanbetov and stars Chris Pratt and Rebecca Ferguson. Pratt plays a cop that gets framed for killing his wife and is trying to prove to everyone that he didn't do it, but gets taken to trial by this AI judge played by Rebecca Ferguson, where he has to look at the screen and try to figure out who really killed his wife by looking through files and watching security camera footage, body cam footage, and iPhone footage. And he has to find all the clues to prove his innocence in just 1 hour, because if he doesn't get all that done in 1 hour, then the chair that he's sitting on will kill him. When I watched the trailers for this film, I didn't have any interest in it, despite the fact that I love Chris Pratt and I love Rebecca Ferguson, but the trailer made it look like it was just a generic sci-fi movie with two big name actors, and it didn't have much that got my interest. Even though I gotta say, this movie is not as bad as people have been saying it is. It's still not great, and unfortunately it's not very good. It's just a meh movie. So the good first, Chris Pratt does a pretty decent job as this character who's trying to prove his innocence, and you do start to believe that he's not a bad guy, even though we see some footage of him doing some questionable stuff, where we get security camera footage of him having issues with his social life and what happened between him and his wife, where it's clearly showing that he's not really a bad guy, he just had some bad luck. And for me, I thought Chris Pratt was fine, although at times you can tell that he's not showing as much emotion as he's supposed to, because he's really just looking at a green screen, unless Rebecca Ferguson is right in front of him with the green screen. So maybe Ferguson was in the room with him for those scenes, or he was just looking at a green screen with just some tape in front of it to make it look like he's looking at her. I don't know. There are some effective shots, like there's this one scene where Pratt is looking at body cam footage of a policeman driving a car, and you get like this one shot of the windshield window breaking, making you feel like you're seeing a horrible moment happen right in front of this cop. So those moments, I will admit, are kind of effective. And the plot for it does sound interesting, even though it sounds a little bit like Minority Report, but it does have some ways to be creative now that it has AI involved. And yes, most of this film is just Chris Pratt tied to a chair trying to prove his innocence, but if you give it to the right hands, you could create something unique with that concept. Unfortunately, that's not the case, where it's now become one of those films where it has a cool and interesting concept, but it's not well executed, because most of this film is just a lot of cliches and predictable moments that we've seen in a lot of movies like this, where you have some twists and turns with some characters that Chris Pratt knows personally and he sees them as friends, but then later become a twist villain, and for some reason have something to do with his wife and her murder. Like when you watch this film and you're seeing the characters that he's talking to either on phone or in FaceTime, and you see them as nice people that want to help him, you can already tell that they're gonna be the villains. And they make it very obvious when you see those twists happen, because for me, when I saw those happen, I'm like, okay, I mean, we kind of saw that coming from a mile away, and unfortunately, there are not going to be any surprises for you to see when you're watching this film if you've seen a lot of movies like this too. Which leads me to one of my main issues with this film. This movie has some twists that don't even relate to Chris Pratt's situation with his wife. And this movie has a lot of moments like that where they don't even tie into the main story. I'm like, why are they there? Were they there to build tension or to just have random filler? I would assume it was just there for random filler and try to build some tension, but it didn't make sense for the film. And when you have some twists that do tie into Chris Pratt's wife's murder, they start to feel very convoluted and don't make any sense, because there really weren't that many like small hints or clues that are supposed to tie into this killer. So it kind of makes the final twist of the real killer feel like it's just shoehorned in. Even some of the shots for when we're seeing Chris Pratt look at security camera footage looks weird. I know they're supposed to look realistic and look like people are just either holding the camera or just have like little cams on their uniforms, but they made it very hard to tell where this character is trying to catch another character that's supposed to relate to his wife. And there is a lot of security camera footage like that where you would think that would be realistic, and you would be right, but they would also make it hard to see what you're trying to look at. Where it doesn't feel like it's there to give like a realism or build suspense, it just looks all shaky and you can't tell what's going on. Now, I didn't hate this film. I don't think it's one of the first bad films of this year, but it's still not a great film, where it has a plot that does have a cool concept, but isn't well executed. It has two main lead actors that give fine performances, but don't really do much with their characters. It has plot twists and turns that are both predictable and don't even relate to the main case. And honestly, if you want to watch a movie like this, where you want to watch a futuristic sci-fi thriller about a character that's trying to prove his innocence, then just watch Minority Report. That movie has a better way of handling its plot and being a thriller and having a sympathetic character and making it feel interesting. Where this film is passable, you can still watch it for what it is, but you're not gonna get a lot out of it because it's just filled with stuff that we've already seen in films so many times. So if you've seen a lot of films like this, those cliches are gonna bug you. But if you haven't and they don't bug you at all, then you should be fine watching this film. Where this movie turned out to be a generic, bland, and forgettable sci-fi thriller, and to be honest, I really don't see myself watching it again. And pretty much as the months go by, people are gonna forget about this film, and in fact, I'm kind of forgetting about this film right now, even though I just saw it. I'm gonna give Mercy a C. So guys, if you have seen Mercy, what do you think about it? Do you think it's a great sci-fi thriller, or do you think this is one of the worst films of this year so far? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, if you like this video, then please leave a like and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss a thing, because it helps my channel grow. Hit the notification bell so you know what other videos I'm posting. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.